In this video, we're going to be diving in and analyzing the cult classic Yu Hakusho. Odds are, if you clicked on this video, you either watched Yu Hakusho recently, you really enjoyed it like me, or you old as hell, you watched it back in '85 when it was on Toonami. Either way, welcome my brethren, and congratulations on finishing one of the best anime ever. You have great taste. Now that we got all the formalities out the way, let's dive into the anime that we all love. So, you know how we do things right here. First, we start off with the story. So if you really don't know the basis of Yu Hakusho, or you need a reminder, it's pretty much all in the first episode. And lucky for you, I have an entire video analyzing the first episode, so you can go watch that one and come back if you want to. But to put it in a nutshell, the story follows a kid named Yusuke, troublemaker, who dies tragically. And later on, we found out unnecessarily he dies in this car accident trying to save this boy. The Grim Reaper of this universe named Botan offers him a second chance at life by him becoming a spirit detective. Spirit detectives basically protect the world from various supernatural threats. Shortly after, we meet another mainstay named Koenma, who gives Yusuke all of his jobs. So, you know how we do things right here. Let's run through all the arcs. The first major arc is called the Spirit Detective arc. My nigga, this is a one hell of a way to start the show. This got some super emotional ass scenes in the game, and then full episodes of just like really emotional shit. So it's broken into 4 parts. First part covers Yusuke returning back to life and all the trials that he had to go to get his life back. The second one is the Artifacts of Darkness, which introduces Hiei and Kurama. The third one is the Genkai's tournament, and the fourth one is the Yukina's rescue. These arcs are really great because you meet 2 of my favorite characters in the show, in Hiei and Kurama, and also you meet another funny ass mainstay named Genkai, who ends up being Yusuke's teacher. This arc does a great job at getting us used to the main cast, and it does a really good job at setting up the character development of Hiei. And it gets us used to a lot of Yusuke's mission as a spirit detective. It really set us up for how much of a problem Toguro was about to be in the upcoming arc. The next arc is the highly favorite Dark Tournament arc. This arc is phenomenal in my opinion. It lives up to every bit of hype that it has. The Dark Tournament does so much for its characters in these like 40 or so episodes. We see a bunch of shit happen. We see Kurama turn into Yoko Kurama for the first time. We see Hiei finally pull off the Dragon of the Darkness flame. We see Genkai literally die. We see Yamcha's Spirit Ball beat the shit out of Yusuke. And we get to see this big emotional ass showdown between Yusuke and Toguro. One of the main things I love about Yu Yu Hakusho is its ability to make us care about the story and the characters. They really be slapping backstory in the middle of these like crazy ass fights, and the crazy thing is, I don't care. They write their characters to the point where like you have no choice but to be interested in them, and I can clearly see why so many people say this is one of their favorite arcs in anime. It just did so much in not that many episodes. It showed us new attacks, introduced us to new likable characters like Chu and Jin. They unraveled Toguro and Genkai's connection and their backstory beautifully, while giving us some beautiful and emotional ass scenes. This arc really lives up to the hype 1000%. The next arc is the Chapter Black Saga, and this arc is another amazing arc. This arc is basically a big fight against Sensui, and acts as kind of an introduction into Yusuke's background and the demon world itself. This arc is really amazing to me because around this time, this is where like niggas was trying to outlaw Yusuke and treat him as a threat because he had like demon energy. A lot of my love for this arc really stems from the final battle between Sensui and Yusuke, but I think genuinely Sensui is just a really good antagonist and a really good villain in this arc. That multiple personality switch is actually like pretty genius, and I like how they changed them throughout the battle. This fight was goated, and Yusuke tapping into Raizen's powers actually raw as hell because he really like baptized that nigga. The only thing that I don't like about that arc is that bum ass fit that Sensui had on when he was fighting Kurama, Hiei, and Kuwabara. And the end of this arc was a great warm up to our final arc, the Three Kings arc. The Three Kings arc is our final arc, and the only problem I had with this arc is that I wish it was longer because there are so many matches in this tournament, so I would have loved to see more of the fights, but man, I can't really complain about what they gave us. This arc really fleshed out the 3 best characters in the show. They explored Yusuke's relationship with his actual father, showing him enduring some of the hardest training he's ever been through. They introduced Makora, and they really gave us everything we wanted in regards to Hiei's character. Gave us his full backstory. And they gave us Kurama's backstory. It showed us that Kurama hasn't always been the best person in his life. Yumi was a great antagonist figure, and Makora was just mysterious. It's crazy how we get to see Hiei show his soft side to her of all people. The fight between Yumi and Yusuke was epic, and I just really like how the tournament ended. It was super outside of the box, and I really appreciate how they like drew the conclusion to the whole tournament as a whole. The last episode of the show like wrapped this show up in like a beautiful little bow tie folk. Yusuke finally comes back after 3 years to fulfill his promise to marry Keiko, and it was just a really heartwarming and cool ass scene. The story of Yu Hakusho is actually pretty detailed and really emotional. It's way more emotional than I remember from my first watch. It's kind of impossible to overlook it because the show makes you fall in love with its characters, so you really have no choice but to pay attention to what's going on. And it's just way too interesting to ignore. Now, let's move on to the characters and character interactions. Character writing in this show is really amazing. I really like every character in the show besides Togoro's brother. But let me run through a few of my favorites. Obviously, Yusuke. He's just a real nigga, gang. Like, what's understood don't need to be explained. This is actually one of the best main characters in anime history, in my opinion. He's so funny and realistic. It really made me think he like one of the homies for real. He has the perfect reaction to damn near everything. You're gonna have a great time every time he's on the screen. Guaranteed. He has so many funny ass moments. He got some outrageous lines of dialogue too. Like when he was enduring the spirit orb that Genkai gave him, and she took it out, he was like, "Get that back, you old bitch." And me and my homies was crying, folks. Or when he was like talking to Kawema, he was like, "Earth the taller bitch." He really be on that with niggas. He's just perfect, gang. He be talking shit. He be beating people ass. He's human. He has a soft side for his girl at the end of the day. Like, he's just a good character. Huge shout out to Justin Cook for his performance. He did a crazy good job, and he's honestly the reason that I rather watch the dub over the sub version every single time. Hiei is a goated ass character too. They wrote this nigga to be just like cool as hell. I don't know if anybody else notices, but every time you see this nigga, he's standing up in the tree somewhere with his hand in his pockets. Hey bro, you don't get your cool ass from up there for little raw ass. You don't get down from there, dog. But in all seriousness, I really like Hiei because of his attitude and his backstory. He also got a lot of character development through the show too. He started off as this really cocky, hard-hearted, lone wolf type guy, but by the end of the show, he actually settles down and accepts people around him as friends. Hiei is very reminiscent of Vegeta. Big shout out to Chuck Huber for his vocal performance, and also I'm a little bit biased because bro, it's Android 17, and it's a character that I really like in DBZ, so that voice is already familiar for me. I think that I can actually say that I like Kurama just as much as I like Yusuke. He's just so raw. For starters, he be flea as hell. He's super smart. He could be really cool, or he could be super savage, and he has a super interesting background story. Man, I just like the dynamic between the main trio, to be honest with you. Hiei's on one side of the spectrum. He's kind of stuck in his ways for most part of the show, and he views humans as very trivial creatures, and Hiei also comes from a pretty tragic background that he really didn't deserve, and that kind of turned him into a bad person. Kurama's kind of the exact opposite. Kurama understands humans very well since he spent all his time under the alias Soichi and spent all the time with his mother. He actually was kind of a bad person in the past, but he's mellowed out. It's kind of like Pharaoh from Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, you ain't know Adam was a terrible person back in the day? Yeah, folks shiesty as hell. You should really look up what he did Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero. Yusuke has always been kind of in the middle for me. Yusuke does what he wants at the end of the day, but you can know for a fact that he's never going to go out of his way just to be like evil type shit. He's going to be savage, but not evil. Shout out to John Bergmeyer for his performance and his contribution to one of my favorite characters in the anime easily. Genkai was super cool too. It's kind of weird not hearing Frieza's voice actor not fling around the term monkey, but her character is great. Her old ass is really wise, and I'm really glad that we get to see her fight and learn more about her backstory. I'm really glad that she came back to life too, because she's just such a good addition to the team, and actually like so good to the comedy of the show. Big shout out to Linda Young for her vocal work on Genkai. Kawema actually ended up being a really cool character too. I like how understanding he ended up being. He's actually pretty funny considering that he's Yusuke's boss. They were bound to have some great dialogues and funny exchanges. Big ups to Sean T for his vocal work on Kawema. I know I didn't name them all, but most of these characters in this anime are actually extremely likable. Even the villain, except for Togoro's brother, of course. Now, let's move on to looks, presentation, and music. I never really understood before why people love the old aesthetic of anime so much, but after rewatching Yu Hakusho, I can kind of see it. It's really beautiful. It gives it so much character. I wouldn't go as far as saying that the newer style the anime has nowadays makes it feel lifeless, like a lot of niggas do. But the older art style that Yu Hakusho just gives off this unique vibe that's hard to replicate. I'm gonna be honest with you. Of course, the animation is going to seem dated, obviously, but everything's clear enough to the point where the fights are easy to follow and they still look good, so I don't care. The characters are expressive, and as long as those two are intact, I really have nothing to complain about. The music is cool. Smile Bomb is another song that I'm going to be playing on the grill with the ashiest legs of all time. And I see that that piano shit dates back to a really early date, because it's this one piano track they play during every emotional ass moment, and it hits me every single time, and it really never gets old, so it serves its purpose, so I can't be mad at it. Honestly, Yu Yu Hakusho ended up being an anime with such a unique vibe that it's seemingly impossible to replicate. It's rightfully in the conversation for the best anime of all time debate, and honestly, I can't be mad at it. It's just that good, and I'm glad that I had a chance to revisit it for this video. If you made it this far in the video, first off, thank you for staying around to the end, and second off, can you do me a favor? Just hit that like and sub button and leave some feedback for me down below. Trying to make these videos better day by day, and I'm trying to start with y'all feedback. But that's all for me. As always, man, have a great day. Peace. And montage time.
Love you forever, but sometimes we seem to disagree. Pray that you protect her and increase my sympathy.
So where are we now in the tournament? Is it the semifinals yet?
No, Yusuke. The tournament is over.
And you people sure know how to make a guy feel welcome.
If you die, I swear I'll kill you.
Why do I let my attitude blur all our memories?
There's some good ones too. Don't hate us. I can show you the good side.
Like this in the face. Then I go and then just say some dumb shit anyway. Thank you for caring for me, teaching me in many ways. The enemy almost scored some goals, but you made plenty saves. Mama knows best, I'ma listen to you.